Greetings, my good people. Um, my name is Tiffany Griffin, and I have been asked a few times by a few people, actually, a lot of people, to post my views on what's going on with the African American slash African community in regards to China, as well as the recent TikTok video that has went viral regarding two Georgia high school students who posted a TikTok video with a lot of racial epithets. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And they're both tied in together. So I'm going to put the correlation in so you can see where I'm coming from. For all of you who don't know, since this whole, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. And since this whole pandemic has started, we have seen account after account, story after story, dialogue after dialogue about how Africans are being mistreated in China, how the global African community are being blamed for the coronavirus and being denied basic things like going to the store, being evicted from their homes, being beaten in the streets because the Africans are being blamed for the spread of the coronavirus. There's absolutely no evidence, no scientific evidence, no medical evidence to substantiate that, but that doesn't matter. Since when do racists ever need an actual reason, proof, or logic to substantiate why they hate an entire community? I don't know. So now I'm going to put that on the back burner, but I'm going to come back to that. There was a very racist video posted by two Carrollton, Georgia high school students by the name of Stephanie Freeman and Jeffrey Hugh out of Carrollton, Georgia. They are seniors at Carrollton High School. These two teenagers, Caucasian teenagers, posted the video and posted it on TikTok, which is an Asian ran social media platform. They said some deplorable things about Black people. They said things like, well, I'm going to address each point that they made. They made a few points, and a couple of the points need to be addressed just so we can get some damn clarity. Now, y'all know, for all of you who are new to the Tiffany Show, I cuss. I do. So if me using profanity to express my frustration and irritation with these two students, this Stephanie Freeman and Jeffrey Hugh, then you might as well exit stage left, because this is just who I am, and I'm not going to curb who I am. I wouldn't be true to myself. So these stupid, dumb motherfuckers decided to post this video. And in the video, they're in a bathroom. They call themselves cooking up or making up a Black person. And they have different racial epithets and stereotypes that are on notebook paper, and they're using water as the ingredient to cook up things. So one thing that they said was, don't have a dad. Another thing that they said was rob people. These are all descriptions of how to make a Black person, according to these two. Stephanie Freeman and Jeffrey Hugh. Other one said go to jail. And another one said good choices. And then the cup was empty. They couldn't make a Black person because Black people are void from good choices. So let me address that right now. The thing that pissed me off about this is because this is classic textbook signs of a narcissist and an abuser blaming their victims. And this is on a collective level, not on an individual level, because I truly believe that these two students are a simple microcosm of how the world is working today. And I'm not saying America, I'm saying the fucking world, on how they treat global Africans. And I don't give a damn where you're from, whether it be Jamaica, whether it be Bel Air, whether it be Brentwood, whether it be Compton, whether it be New York. It does not matter. England. In the end of the day, we're all in this shit together. If you are a melanated person, because that's where the slave ship picked us up, is from Africa. It does not matter where they dropped us off at. That shit don't matter to me, because when I'm driving down the street and I'm from Los Angeles, LAPD don't see a person who's from Texarkana. They don't see that. They see an African. So, and we can get into that debate another day, but let me break it down. These two teenagers said, don't have a dad, as if that's synonymous with being Black. First of all, you dumbass bitches, 85% of Black males are active in their kids' lives. They are active. Now, they may not be married to the mother, but you don't have to be married to co-parent a child. But let me explain something that's so fucking dumb about these two teenagers. They are textbook narcissists and abusers. They represent the white community. And I'm finna put it out there, and I'm finna keep it a buck. Now, one thing that an abuser does is that they create a problem. They cause the injury. They cause the trauma. And then when the victim responds to it, then the victim is blamed for responding. Example, don't have a dad. Why is there a war on black boys and black men? Why are black men being systematically exterminated by the police and have been for generations, starting with slavery, with Jim Crow, all the way down to right now, mass incarceration and police brutality? So if there are men out there who aren't in their kids' lives, ask the question as to why. What about redlining and the disparate, what's the word I'm looking for? Sentencing in the Justice Department. Explain that. Black men are being targeted by the system. It's called systemic racism, you dumbass bitch. So if there aren't any black men around raising their kids, or if there is disproportionate numbers of black men versus black women, who fucking caused it? Your race did. Secondly, rob people. Some of the biggest fucking thieves on this planet are Caucasians. Who steal land? Who steal cultures? Who steal people? And who have done it for years? Okay? How do you come to America and steal an entire fucking continent and mass exterminate the indigenous people here and then blame other people for stealing? That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Secondly, go to jail. Who created the mass incarceration? Who did? You're going to sit up. The analogy that I can give you is if I came into your house and kicked your dog. I hauled back and swift kicked your dog hard as hell. Now, personally, I would never do that. I love animals. I actually have two myself. But let's say I kicked your dog. And then your dog is walking around limping and hurt from the injury. And what do? I'm the asshole bitch that be like, look at your dog. Your dog is walking around. And I make fun of you and I ridicule and I charge your dog and talk shit about your dog and belittle your dog after I've kicked him once, kicked him twice, kicked him over and over again systematically. And then I sit up and I ridicule and point out the fact that your dog is limping. Who fucking caused the injury? Secondly, make good choices. Oh, that cup was empty. When they took that part and poured it into the whole recipe that they were doing, that part had nothing in it, as if black people are void from making good choices. Well, let me tell you something. I actually low-key, kinda, partially, maybe a smidgen agree with you there, because one of the worst choices we as a race ever did was forgiving white people for the shit that they've done to us over the years. We are the most forgiving people on earth, and that right there has been our detriment. Catapulted, and the catalyst to that was Christianity and Islam. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about Christianity and Islam, the religion of our oppressors, who put in our head that we had to love our enemies and pray for those who use us, to their imaginary God, okay, their imaginary Caucasian God that they beat into our backs, which conditioned us to be better slaves. Okay, the only way anybody will tell you, if they are an abuser or if they're a person who likes to victimize other people, the best type of victim to be is the one that don't fight back. And black people, the worst decision we ever made is being docile. And that right there was perpetuated by the church. So that part, the good choice part, that's the only bad choice we ever made collectively as a race, is not to fight back and to sit up and allow the maltreatment from imperialists such as Caucasians and China. And I'm going to throw China in the lump too, because they are treating Africans on the continent horrible right now. So this pisses me off. But you know what? I don't blame those students. Those students are nothing but kids. They're teenagers, but they are nothing but perpetuators of white supremacy. They were taught that in the home. That's not some shit you're born with. They're taught that by society. They're taught that by the school system, and they're taught that in the home. These kids are only responding with what they've been fed into their head. And I don't want to hear no bullshit ass apology. I don't want to hear no, we didn't know what we were doing. I don't want to hear that bullshit, because you knew what the fuck you were doing. Your whole premise of making that video was to go viral. Now you're viral. I don't know if this is going to have any effect. I seriously doubt it, by the way the system of white supremacy is set up. I'm sure that this can be long forgotten, like Brock Turner's rapist ass, like all the other people, like Harvey Weinstein, like all of them. All you guys have to do is wait some time out, and your system of white supremacy will protect and support you, because that is what it was designed to do. And the Chinese people are no different, because of the way they're treating Africans and the way they treat African Americans here in this country. You have account after account of how the beauty shop owners, the hair supply stores treat and target black people, and we're the main ones who support their business. So what I want to say to all of you guys is to understand that everything that's going on right now in regards to how China is treating Africans and how this whole thing is going on is a wake-up call that we have no friends collectively. You might individually have a friend who is Chinese, and you might individually have a friend who is Caucasian, but systematically we have no friends. We need to be our own friends, and we need to create infrastructure to support our community, for us and by us, because at the end of the day, nobody is looking out for us but us. And if we're not looking out for us and nobody else is looking out for us, then we're going to stay in the position that we are in, which means that we have absolutely no respect and no clout to protect ourselves and our community. And nobody is listening to us. That's why Africans are treated the way they are. That's why globally Black people are treated the way they are, because at the end of the day, Africa has no respect. Now, people ask me, Tiff, what can we do? This is my suggestion. And I'm just giving you what I think that what should happen. I believe that every single Chinese business factory should be boycotted by anybody melanated. Anybody that looks like me who is an African should not support anything from China. Secondly, I believe that all Chinese businesses, all Chinese infrastructure should be kicked out of Africa. If they want to evict our people and beat them in the streets and throw them out of their homes and not allow them to shop, why the hell are we giving them freedom to operate businesses and to build infrastructure in the mother continent? Answer that. That's my question. Riddle me that. Why the hell are we giving our money to a republic that don't give a damn about us? The only thing they care about is what we can bring to the table to support them and their family. They will not honor us as equal members to sit at the table. So why the hell are we giving them that clout? Why are we giving them that revenue and that base to do the same thing in Africa? Why are we as African Americans spending our money in their stores? We need to come together and we need to operate as a unit, because then and only then will we be able to get respect. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Tune in for more. Thank you. Ashe.